East London Vision and Metro Blind Sport have organised a multi-activity sports day for people who are visually impaired, starting at 12 p.m. on Sunday the 7th of September. The free event is at Newham Leisure Centre, and it will offer sports coaching and taster sessions in athletics, football, goalball, gym, judo, swimming, table tennis and tandem cycling. For more information and a registration form, please contact Laura Ross. Now, Laura's email address is Laura, L-A-U-R-A, at, all one word, eastlondonvision.org, O-R-G.UK. And Laura's phone number is 0203 697 6464. Or alternatively, you can contact Ian Francis. And Ian Francis's email address is ian, I-A-N, Francis, F-R-A-N-C-I-S, at metroblindsport, all one word, .org. And Ian's phone number is 07814 751 643. Alternatively, you can have a look at their website, www.eastlondonvision.org.uk. Okay, so let's get on with the local news, and here's Sonia again.
It's not often that an 8-year-old comes up with the idea to raise money for charity, but that's exactly what struck Gabriel Erskine White whilst he was in the shower one morning. The cycling fanatic was inspired by his nana Edie, who died in May 2013 after losing her battle with cancer. And after deciding to raise money for Marie Curie, Gabriel set his sights on a cycling challenge. Gabriel, who will be starting Year 4 at Cuckoo Hall Academy in Edmonton in September, decided to race round the Tatum Park skate track in Hedge Lane with his 11-year-old cousin, Kayla. Cheered on by friends and family, the pair have so far raised £250 for the charity after cycling 20 times around the track. Gabriel's mother, Donna Erskine, said he told his dad one morning when he got out of the shower that he wanted to raise money for charity.
Council plans to reduce the borough's gritting network by a third have been slammed by opposition councillors. At a meeting of Enfield Council's Overview and Scrutiny Committee on Tuesday last week, Labour councillors, who outnumber Conservative members 4-2, voted in favour of reducing the network, which in 2013-14 was 276 kilometres in length, to just 185 kilometres. Last year, the council's winter maintenance budget was £312,720, and as a result of the change, this would be reduced to £238,000, a £72,000 saving. The move has angered Tory councillors, who had called in the decision. They say it will make it difficult for parents to drop off their children to school during icy or snowy weather. Schools which are no longer part of the gritting network include Bishop Stortford Secondary and Suffolk's Primary in Brick Lane, Enfield, and St Michael at Bowes Junior School in Tottenhall Road, Palmer's Green. Joanne Laban, Tory spokeswoman for Environment, branded the decision totally unacceptable. We've been told that savings will not affect frontline services, but this decision certainly does, she said. The aim of the network is to keep Enfield moving during difficult weather, but how can we do so if the council is making it difficult for parents to send their children to school, for teachers to get to the school to open up, and for residents to access main routes to business areas? This will certainly result in more schools being closed during icy or snowy conditions. Chris Bond, Cabinet Member for Environment and Community Safety, said the decision did not affect pavements as the gritting of walkways come from another budget. He added, "This was not an easy decision to make, but we are under pressure to save money and we are cutting down to what we believe is a sustainable level. With regards to the schools, if you get heavy snowfall, they will often be closed anyway. For example, when the playground cannot be cleared. In any case, we have money in reserve to expand our gritting efforts in case of extremely bad weather. We are prepared for that."
The Palmer's Green Festival is aiming to be bigger than ever this year in a bid to unite the community. The third annual festival will return to Broomfield Park on September the 7th. Thousands joined in fun last year, and this year the festival will have more than 100 stalls and 30 community groups in attendance. The organisers are also introducing a community friendship zone to help get older people involved in the community. Age UK, Enfield Voluntary Action, the Enfield Over 50s Forum, the Cypriot Elderly and Disabled Group and the newly formed Palmer's Green and Southgate U3A will all be taking part in the event.
Squatters protesting against a controversial housing development are to be kicked off the site. The protesters took up residence at the former Middlesex University campus in Cat Hill, Cockfosters, in April, in a bid to stop developers London and Quadrant building 231 homes on the site. Campaigners have fought against the development as they feel it will destroy the natural habitat of the land. But following a court hearing, an eviction notice was placed on those living on the site last Wednesday, giving them 7 days to leave. The group had enjoyed a brief period of hope when District Judge Stone stated at Barnet County Court on August the 6th that he would need time to deliberate the decision. This ended when the judge made his verdict last Tuesday. Campaigner Kim Coleman of Mansfield Crescent told the Enfield Independent that the fight is not over. She said, "We are speaking with our legal team to see what can be done next. I thought the judge was fair and took his time making the decision. We are, of course, disappointed with the decision, and we are continuing to have a blockade at the main entrance every day. We have battled with them for 4 years, and we're not giving up yet." An L&Q spokesman said, "We welcome the court's decision to grant us an order for possession, and we are planning our next steps. This is a step forward for our Cat Hill development, which will create much-needed homes for people in a range of incomes. These well-designed homes will match the character of the local area, and our 25-year woodland management plan will further improve the diversity and value of the woodland habitat." Sonia.
A letter from M. Cox of Pentrish Avenue, Enfield. A report by Dexter Whitfield, director of a social justice watchdog, indicated, among many findings, a staggering level of profits pocketed by construction companies and banks, including private takeover and profiteering during the recent Barnet project. He feared that profit before patience could be the outcome. In May, the Enfield Advertiser reported David Cameron pledging investment in primary care to compensate for the loss of frontline hospital services, stating that the closure of Chase Farms A&E and maternity units were a clinician-led decision, despite an electoral-led promise not to. The PM also indicated that increasing GPs' hours across the country would help fill the void left by A&E departments. These terms seem to denote that he understands he created a major problem through closures without adequate substitution. This must be financial and seems to point in the direction indicated by Mr. Whitfield. In the Advertiser on August the 6th, David Sloman, Chief Executive of the Royal Free, condemned Chase Farm's facilities as not fit for purpose, with many of them left to ruin, indicating a major rebuild would possibly be complete by 2018. In a letter on August the 13th, he stated that patients, residents, local politicians and other stakeholders would get their say. My money's on the stakeholders. And another letter by M. Marmory, addresses supplied. We have a fox's earth near our garden. The vixen had 3 cubs back in the spring, and we have enjoyed the wildlife scenario acted out each day. The vixen has successfully reared and cared for her cubs, who are now on their way to being independent. To my horror, I have discovered that somebody is trapping them in a wire cage. The foxes are lured to the bait within the cage, where the trapping mechanism is activated. The end result is extermination, after potentially being trapped for many hours, which will cause them unnecessary suffering and stress. This practice, as highlighted by the National Foxes Welfare Society, is considered to be ineffective and cruel as a means of removing foxes. There are many other humane methods for the control of foxes. Now that fox hunting has been banned by law, are we prepared to tolerate this inhumane method of fox removal? And a short one from Cassandra Wilson in Montague Road, Edmonton. Can someone please tell me why there are no proper managers now that the Royal Free has taken over Chase Farm? The switchboard has no proper manager. Agency staff are running the show. I used to work there and noticed how the agency staff chose to do all the overtime and never shared it out. I found this disgusting. How are they letting agency staff run the show? Come on, Royal Free, sort your staff out.
An MP is backing a campaign to raise awareness of prostate cancer after it was revealed more than 20 men per 100,000 in Enfield are dying from the disease. Prostate cancer survivor Dave Newby of Enfield has been protesting in Parliament about the inequalities locally in relation to awareness, information and support for those suffering from the disease in the borough. And with the support of Edmonton MP Andy Love, a campaign with Prostate Cancer UK has been launched to help raise awareness of the most common cancer in men. Mr. Love said, "Together with Prostate Cancer UK, I want to ensure that all men in Enfield are armed with the knowledge of their risk of prostate cancer and that those living with it have everything they need to tackle the disease head-on and have quality time with loved ones. It should not be a postcode lottery as to the quality of care that sufferers receive. Men in Enfield deserve better, and it is clear that there are areas that our local NHS trust can improve upon."
A new multi-million-pound recycling plant has begun construction. Powerday has started work on its new recycling facility in Jeffrey Road, Enfield. The plant will cost £10 million and will be one of the biggest recycling plants in the area. The company already has a processing site in the borough and hopes to open the recycling plant in April 2015. The plant will create 60 new jobs. A managing director of Powerday, Mark Benstead, said he is delighted with the plans. He said, "We are very happy to commence construction works on this site and to be in a position to create up to new 60 green jobs. The plant will provide an environmental solution which supports industry in the capital and avoids the additional transport distances and environmental impact involved in landfill. Enfield also sits on the heart of the North London Waste Plan area, and development of new infrastructure is in the heart of our plans.
A five-a-side football club is set to stage their second annual community games following the success of last year's event. The Ponders End Community Games will take place on Sunday, September the 7th from noon till 5 p.m. in Ponders End Recreation Ground. The sporting and creative activities on offer will be a chance for children and adults to get involved. Secretary of Futsal Club Enfield, Robert Brassett, said, "We're looking to get girls and boys from throughout the community to get involved with futsal," that's F-U-T-S-A-L. Sport England and the FA have said that five-a-side football is one of the fastest growing indoor sports in the country. Futsal Club Enfield is currently the only club of its kind in North London, so the games will be a real booster for the club. The community games were originally created to give people the chance to celebrate the London 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games. And since January 2012, more than 2,500 people have taken part in events across the country. The Ponders End Community Games promote healthy living, while also encouraging young people to represent their borough in a range of activities. As well as futsal, participants will have the opportunity to have a go at basketball, football, athletics, art and crafts, and even giant board games.
A young tap sensation has wrapped up a glorious year with the news that he will perform solo at the Royal Albert Hall. When Carmela Lowry was told by a fellow mother at Morgan Aslanoff Theatre in Winchmore Hill to take her son Luke to the National Junior Championships, she had no idea what was in store. The 11-year-old was competing against the best dancers the country has to offer in Blackpool. But the boy from Hampton Way and Southgate emerged victorious after heat in the space of 2 days. Mrs. Lowry told the Enfield Independent that she had no idea how well her son would fare. She said, "It was a simple recommendation, and Luke thought he would give it a go. He's been doing taps since he was 6 and loves performing." Emerging victorious from the competition, Luke will now perform solo at the Royal Albert Hall in November.
A doorman who died after being attacked outside a bar has been named by police. James Dara, 54, known as Jim, was struck in the face at just after midnight on Saturday in the entrance to the Stonehouse Bar in Bull Plain, Hertford. Mr. Dara, who police believe to be from Edmonton, was taken to hospital but died a short time later. Detectives are now appealing for witnesses to the incident to come forward, specifically anyone who spoke to Mr. Dara earlier in the evening. They would also like to speak to 2 women described as being white and in their early 20s who were in the courtyard area when one of them spilt a drink. Detective Chief Inspector Jerome Kent, who is leading the investigation from the Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire and Hertfordshire Major Crime Unit, said, "Our investigations into this incident are ongoing and we continue to treat this as a suspicious death. We have identified some witnesses, in particular 2 women, who we would like to speak to. I believe they will have seen the victim ask a man to leave the premises. These 2 witnesses could hold vital evidence for our inquiry. I'd also like to speak to anyone else who witnessed the incident or events leading up to it. Please get in touch with police as soon as possible. A 26-year-old man from Buntingford who was arrested in connection with the incident has been released on police bail."
And now a letter from J. Miller of Enfield. I've been following the bicycle versus car debate on these pages for many weeks, and it has been a rumbling on. However, after reading Rick Jewell's letter, I feel compelled to make a contribution, as Mr. Jewell makes some incorrect statements. Roads today are not built up to width to accommodate cars, they are built to a width to accommodate the traffic, a mix of vehicles, including bicycles. Width consideration is given to the largest vehicles, buses, refuse trucks and fire engines. Most of the borough's roads are maintained by the council, so they are paid for by the council taxpayers. That includes residents that cycle and walk, use a bus or drive. Yes, cyclists do not pay road tax, but neither do many tax-exempt cars. Insurance is compulsory for cars because they can kill. Cyclists can, however, cause an accident, but so can pedestrians and children. We don't have compulsory insurance for them either. The responsibility for avoiding accidents rests with the driver. One of the great assets of the bicycle is that, like the bus, when not in use, it is put away. We don't see our residential streets visually blighted with rows of parked cycles and buses, denying children the right to enjoy their environment. Modern cars are cleaner, but numbers are so large today that our air quality seems no better. They may be safer inside for the occupants, but they sure are more dangerous for those outside, being much faster than top speed limits allow, often bigger, with more aggressive styling and performance encouraging fast, selfish driving. So, like that other Victorian invention, the railway, the bicycle is enjoying a resurgence in popularity. We are now seeing new railways being constructed, and I'm looking forward to London and Enfield in particular having its new cycleways. We will be then able to enjoy both cycling and driving in civilised environment.
Good. And more civilisation. Here's some entertainment items. At Alexandra Palace, the first one, Alexandra Palace Organ Concert. Stephen Disley of Southwark Cathedral will perform this fundraising concert in the Great Hall at Alexandra Palace on Wednesday the 3rd of September at 7 o'clock. If you want details, you can find out on this phone number 01727 861 555 or on their website alipallyorgan.co. I do beg your pardon, I'll say that again. alipallyorgan.org.uk. And at Millfield Theatre, the girls dem love sax and all that jazz. The girls are back in Alan Charles's smash hit musical comedy, Love Sax and All That Jazz. The show is now in its 5th year, having finished runs in London, Birmingham, Liverpool, High Wycombe, Sheffield, Oxford and Trinidad. The production chronicles the experience of 5 female friends as they navigate their lives around love, sex and that drama. Through music, drama, comedy and poetry, you will be taken on a roller coaster experience of laughter and intrigue in this production that will uplift, inspire and entertain. It's at Millfield Theatre in Silver Street, Edmonton, on Saturday the 7th of September at 6:30 p.m. and also at Saturday 13th of September, but that time 7:15 p.m. Details on 020 8807 6680 or the website millfieldtheatre.co.uk.
Following consecutive defeats, Enfield Town Manager George Borg says he will walk away if he can't take the club forward, and revealed he received 3 or 4 offers to leave in the summer. The Towners were unable to build on last Tuesday's 1-0 win over BCD Athletic and slipped to a 2-1 defeat at Canvey Island on Saturday and a 3-2 defeat against Wingate and Finchley on Monday. With 4 points from their opening 6 games, the Towners are 19th, 2 places above relegation zone. But Borg says he will have no qualms about leaving if he can't take the club forward. I don't want supporters to start turning away because we're losing games, he said. If at the end of the day I don't think I can take the club any further, I will walk away. If the club feel they can get someone else to take the club forward, I'm prepared to walk away. Enfield found themselves 3-0 down against the Blues on Monday before Neil Cousins' second-half brace dragged the Towners back into the contest. Liam Hope's first-half penalty fired Enfield ahead during their game against Canvey Island, but the hosts equalised before the flashpoint occurred after Marlon Agagwa's last-gasp winner. The Towners play at high-flying Hendon on Saturday.
Okay, we've reached the end of the news for this week, but don't forget, this week you will receive a card attached to your tape. If you would like to contact you to provide more information and support about receiving the Enfield Talking newspaper on memory stick in future, please return the card to us with your tape. Alternatively, if you prefer, please feel free to contact us directly with any questions or queries about using memory sticks. Your listener's representative, Diane de Jersey, can be contacted on 020-8805-6578, or you can contact the chairman of ETN, Phillip Dawson, and he can be reached on 07843 445 963. We've reached the end of our programme for this week. Thank you for listening. So, from the team of Alan, Sonia, Phil and Roz and Ian on the controls, it's
Goodbye.